For in the same way that you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. It's one of the biggest values, that we have in our world today, of not judging one another, of, hey, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to say, how to dress, when to show up to work. What's ironic about that, we live in probably the most judgmental society to ever exist. It's about everything in sports and politics and nutrition and fitness and education and parenting and housing. Everyone has an opinion about it. And if you don't have an opinion about it, you're judged for not having an opinion about it. We're all judgmental, aren't we? Like, it's so obvious to know when you're around someone that just is looking for the good in life versus someone that's always kind of looking for the negative. And honestly, I felt like the last couple of months, I have felt like I've had a bad eye. It's been a lot of I don't have enough, I'm anxious, worried about a lot of things. God, I'm too busy. It's kind of using that phrasing a lot. And I really don't like who that turns me into. And then it makes people around me stressed. If now you and your group are anxious about these things, and you look at someone else that doesn't share those same anxieties, what do you tend to do with those kind of people? You judge them. And that's what I think Jesus is trying to help us to see in all this, is that these things are linked. It really means at the core to discern between what is good and what is not good. Judgment is not bad. It's not negative by itself, although we think modern terms kind of negatively a lot about that. Does Jesus say we're supposed to never judge? Well, I think judgment is good in some ways. Imagine a professor, right, not judging a paper. Some of our students might be happy about that. Or a doctor not making a judgment call about what you need. A judge in court not giving a fair, judgment, consequence of someone that's done something really bad. Judgment is important and it's needed. But Jesus is talking more about condemning people. He's talking about looking down on people. And isn't that the worst feeling ever? Too often we're quick to make judgments without knowing the whole story. That kid that looks tired in class, you have no idea what their home life is like. Your coworker that comes in with kind of a bad attitude, you know what's happening in their family? Person that comes back to church after some years, it's about time they're back. You know what the last few years have been like for them? I'm always amazed that every single time I've judged someone to ask, hey, how's it going? Almost every time I'm filled with more compassion, more grace, more empathy for that person. My mother-in-law talks a lot about, that phrase of, man, there isn't a person that you wouldn't love if you could read their story.